In one of my earliest videos, I mentioned that I would step gingerly into the issue of passing and of stealth, and I think, though, now I'm going to just dive in completely while the water's warm. And I want you to imagine that you're moving to another country. I want you to imagine that in this other country, there's a lot of bias and discrimination, a lot of violence and prejudice against immigrants. That's difficult to even have relationships, find a job, that to rent. That in many ways you're really treated as a social pariah or a second-class citizen. And to make matters even worse, even though you're fluent in the language, you know that you have an accent, and the minute you speak, people will sense that you're foreign born, and also you're physically very different. Everyone in this country, let's say, is 5'9", has dark hair, and you're 6'2", blonde hair, blue eyes, and I think you can sense that the metaphor is very much like transitioning, and it's very much like the issues we take on in terms of passing and of stealth. And what I want you to do, just mentally, is to ask yourself, given that situation, to what extent would you go to pass yourself off as native born? And it's not a ridiculous question. I know my grandparents came from Russia, and they did everything they could to scrub their language and their cultural habits, everything, to become American. They wanted to Americanize themselves in the worst way, and their religion became private, and Yiddish stopped being spoke, and while they did, instantly many, got nose jobs and dyed their hair and changed their names, did whatever they could to hide their past. And we can sympathize. There's some good cause and good reasons to do that. Certainly during the Holocaust, many did it just to survive. And in this case, people did it because it was a way to economically survive. You had to have jobs. It was a way to get ahead. But I also, and so the gains are clear. But there's also something lost. And I guess that's what I want to talk about. What's lost in the process? This is what I think is lost. We are, I believe, an amazing people. We're an incredible people. There are so few who will ever experience what we have experienced. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of us. And we have a history, and we have a culture, and we have our day of remembrance, and we have our intellects and our writers, our historians, our politicians, our street agitators, our truck drivers, prostitutes, professors, computer programmers, our artists. We're a rich tapestry of a community, and there is no reason we should for a moment feel any sense of shame in that. And my hope, my dream, is that one day trans will simply be, say, your country of origin, or just say where you're from. It'll speak to the culture that you come from. It'll speak to a history that you've had. It'll speak to a commonality with a community that you share. That's unique and special. And we are special. That's the thing I want to keep getting to. We are special. And so I want to wear that proudly. I am a trans woman. And that's okay. And anyone who listens to me close enough or looks at me close enough, well, they'll get there. I pass plenty fine for what I need. But I don't care anymore. The more I've gone on with this, the more I just simply don't care. And I know it's going to sound strange, but I don't think gender's the most important thing in all of this. I really don't. The more I've gone on, the more I've realized that there's something else at play, a much larger thing, and that has to do with authenticity and with genuineness and honesty. When you transition in public, you transition through a tremendous effort, and you have to fight through self-consciousness and embarrassments and all those things. And to do it for anything less than absolute genuineness of who you are, I don't know. If you're going to do it the whole bit. Be who you are. And I'm not going to pass judgment. You are. We each, I want to believe, take on those choices that we feel most genuine about, that make us feel the most real and the most honest and true. That's all one can ask. That's all one can ask.